We are live now in the Facebook group Goodbye Autoimmune Disease. So hello everyone. And today we have a very special guest. As you can see in the title above, we have transformation stories that we're sharing today. And today the main topic of discussion is going to be fibromyalgia. And fibromyalgia is something that is an autoimmune disease that's on the one that is more of the painful ones. There's many types of autoimmune diseases, but this one is one that's known, and those that experience it experience a lot of pain. And it's something that not so many people talk about, and a lot of people think that there's nothing you can do about it. And I think that that's where a lot of people kind of get stuck, and what I want to do and what I want to do best here is to try and help share real stories from real people. Like we have Isabella here who have experienced this particular autoimmune disease called fibromyalgia, and what it's like, what the experience is like, and then also how potentially we can help each other or help others that are maybe experiencing something similar. And I think that that's really important. And that's really what this group is all about, is sharing stories to help inspire others to become, the best versions of themselves and thrive, and feel better and hopefully live a life, free of pain, or at least a lot less suffering. So Isabella, go ahead and speak to us and share a little bit about where you at, where you've been, and what's up with this this disease, fibromyalgia.
Kevin, I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me here live today to be able to share my story with you and with all.
One second, you're cutting out right now, or it's you cut out.
I turned my Wi-Fi off. Can you hear me better now?
Okay, yeah, go ahead now.
Okay, hello everyone. I am so happy and grateful to be here. My name is Isabella Essence. I want to thank you, Kevin, for having me live and having me in this group to be able to share my story with you and with everyone, to hopefully inspire others who, no matter where you are along your journey, whether you already feel like you're thriving and you just want to see if you can take it to a whole new level of amazing health, or if you are still on your journey of healing and, anywhere along the way, we really want to be here for you and try to give you the tools that are available for you to be able to put your body in a position so that it can have the best nutrients, and just find balance. So my story starts, really, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia when I was 18, but it was a few-year journey of going to specialists and doctors. And I also have arthritis. I am diagnosed with plantar fasciitis, tarsal tunnel, did I already say arthritis? I don't know. I've got quite a few, polymyalgia, quite a few different diagnoses, but I feel like fibromyalgia is the one that has really affected me the most because it is full body. And it also just causes me to be sensitive to everything else. And kind of, I feel like, that's the major thing. So that's why we're talking mainly about that one today. And I was diagnosed when I was 18, but like I said, I was going to doctors for many years on a lot of medications. And honestly, the medications genuinely just made me more and more ill. I ended up gaining a lot of weight. I went from being about 115 pounds to over 200 pounds within the course of like just a very short amount of time, because the medications that I was on, some of them would like make me retain water, and they would just make me just very bloated, just to an extreme amount. Like my what I ate didn't change and my activity level didn't change. The only thing that changed was these medications. But I was eating the standard American diet at that time. I had tried to go vegan a few different times in my life and always felt called to go vegan. But at this point, I was not vegan. I was eating meat and cheese and wheat, gluten, dairy, pasta, pizza, all the things. I was in college. And so I went to all these doctors, specialists, was on a lot of medications, fought through extreme amounts of pain. I mean, my feet would just be burning. Like, I mean, it really literally, like walking around, if I was standing on my feet for too long, it was like someone literally poured gasoline on my feet and just like lit them on fire. I mean, it was excruciating, just every day on a daily basis, all the time. But it wasn't just in my feet, it's full body. So like, that's what fibromyalgia is like full body nerve, muscle, and fascia pain. So it goes by what's called flare-ups, and it comes and goes, but most people are in pain most of the time, every single day. It doesn't really go away that often. And when it does, you're still in pain, you're just in less pain. Typically, unless you're like eating very clean and healthy and you are like filling your body full of nutrient dense superfoods and, you know, doing all of these things that Kevin and I are going to be sharing with you today, because you can transform your health and you don't have to be stuck. Sorry. If you can hear those sirens, sorry. You don't have to be stuck in pain and agony and utter just like hopelessness because you're at such a low level of functionality. So it got to a point over time that I continued on the medications. I remember one summer I was so determined to work out and lose weight. I went to the gym every single day. And I went to Planet Fitness and I had like the special membership. It was a 24-hour gym. I would go to that gym and work out somewhere between like 4 to 5 hours a day. And I was just super motivated. I kid you not. This is when I was still on the medication, still in college. I did not lose a single pound that summer. I was eating healthier. I was working out. I could not lose weight. And I genuinely know and believe that, sorry, my daughter's jumping on me, that it was because of the medications that I was on and just the way they were not good for my body personally, for me, for what I was taking and how they affected my nervous system and my biology. It was just not the right thing. And so I came to a point where I was so sick. This was supposed to be my, like, it was kind of my whole last year of college through 2017. It got to a point where I was throwing up 10 to 12 times a day. I had a bunch of food allergies that I didn't know about, but I was going to gastroenterologists. I was being put on new medications to try to suppress the intestine muscle spasms that was happening from mostly eating glyphosate, and my body just getting to a point where it's like these medications are toxic. The gluten that you're putting in your system has put holes through your stomach lining. So now you're also allergic to dairy. Now you're also allergic to soy when you never were before. Or if you were not as I was not as sensitive, right? Sorry for speaking in third person. But I reached out. So I had been going to college for fine arts, but I was also studying Reiki energy healing. And I'd been doing energy healing, honestly, since I was about 3 or 4 years old, but I was training since I was 18 to become certified. And I was pretty ashamed that I was so sick, to be honest. And I was not reaching out to a lot of people other than the doctors. Most of my friends didn't know that. They knew I had fibromyalgia. They had no idea really what it was or the extent of it. And I was just really, kind of as you had mentioned previously, Kevin, sometimes it can be hard to bring these things up because we feel like we should be doing better, or like we're failing if we're not better than where we are. So I just want everyone to have compassion with themselves wherever you're at on this journey, and know that, like, no matter how sick you are right now, or where you are in your journey, you can improve and you can reach like absolute vital health. So I was continuing through college, and it got to the point where I literally became bedridden, and I was taken out of college due to these combination of illnesses, because it got to the point where I literally couldn't keep food down. I could barely keep water down, because at that point I was drinking tap water and I didn't understand the importance of drinking clean filtered water. And so all the chemicals in the water was very harsh for me and my digestive system. So this was all combined contributing to my health. And I ended up being bedridden for 2.5 years. I was taken out of college my last semester, so I didn't end up getting to graduate. And I'm right here, baby. And that was really hard. I was very young. I didn't have children, and I dreamed of having kids someday. I wanted to be married and be a wife and be able to cook and provide for my family and have a career as a healer and an artist. And it just, being stuck in bed, staring at a wall, being trapped, not even able to walk to the bathroom without a walker, not able to, I didn't even have the energy to use a walker to go to the living room to go watch cartoons, not cartoons, but like Netflix shows. And like, I say cartoons because I have kids now, but you know, back then I lived with my grandmother. Thank goodness for her, because she literally had to take care of me. Fibromyalgia and my food allergies were so debilitating for that period of my life that if I hadn't changed, had I not gone vegan, had I not learned about juice fasting and purium and superfoods and how to use food as medicine, I truly believe that I would be still bedridden to this day, very, very unhappy and very sick and just truly in agony and miserable. And so I'm just so grateful for this, how this journey has taken me. So to try to speed it up a little bit, I ended up juice fasting, going on a 2-week juice cleanse. That was kind of, I had already been healing myself over that 2.5 period of time, going vegan and doing different kinds of raw vegan fasts and fruit fasts. And I then did the juice feasting, and that was kind of the kicker. That literally, I feel like, was really what changed. After that, I was able to walk again, and it started from there. And I started doing slow stretches and yoga on the ground. I moved out of bed and started moving to the floor and sitting on the floor more, doing stretches on the floor. And then eventually was able to get myself from yoga and into martial arts. I could only stand up for short periods of time, and I had to spend a lot of my martial arts classes sitting down because I quite literally was not capable of standing for the half an hour, 45-minute class. I had to sit down, and I could just stand for short intervals to do the motions. And I mean, that martial arts really helped me gain the strength and the confidence and the grounding combined with the nutrient dense foods. I mean, it was amazing. And so I was doing a lot of Reiki energy, self-healing and aligning through visualization and kind of using Dr. Joe Dispenza's, epigenetic type meditations and visualizing and heart brain resonance. But it really comes down to taking chemicals out of your diet. Like I truly believe that none of that really would have mattered fully, all of those things, had I not taken all of the chemicals, all of the pesticides. I went organic, I went non-GMO fully. I had to commit. And when I didn't have the money to buy something that was organic and I ended up buying something not organic, I got violently ill. I mean, violently ill. And it was, whether it was fruit or vegetables. So I have built back up my health and my strength now, where I don't 100%, I don't get violently ill now. It's very rare that I ever throw up. I went many years, like 3-4 years without throwing up at all. And I'm so grateful. I went from being literally bedridden, having to use a shower chair, having to use not just a cane, but the cane was not enough. I had to use a full-on walker, and I was so mortified. I didn't have I isolated myself. I became depressed. I mean, I was pretty much suicidal at one point because I was just like, if this is going to be the rest of my life, like I don't want this. This is horrible. This is not just physically agonizing. This is emotionally, like, this is emotional suffering because no one understands the degree of pain that I'm in at all. And like my grandmother had fibromyalgia, so she kind of had some kind of idea, but like I was way worse off than she even was, even though she was older than me. And that was very hard for a lot of people, a lot of family to accept. My grandfather, uncles, cousins, like it was aunts. It was very hard for a lot of people to accept and understand how sick I was, especially because I was so young. So there was a lot of like prejudice from not just family, but like, I wouldn't say like prejudice from family, but just like not understanding. And that made me feel isolated. So anyway, I was able to heal myself. I moved across the country from Maryland to California. I was able to help many people while I lived there and ended up connecting through Instagram lives with different healers and all over the world, you know, from UK to Canada and South Africa. And I've just been able to share this message. And this is really my mission and my purpose in life, is to reach, I mean, millions of people, to know that you are your own healer. You can heal your body from anything. Your body is naturally made to heal itself. If you cut out the poisons, cut out the toxins, and then supply yourself with fresh, real, either natural spring water, filtered water, and these amazing Purium superfoods and clean, whole, organic foods, your body is going to thrive. Your body is going to heal. Just give it time and like respect your body temple, love your body temple, and put only good things in it. And when you do that, it's same with your thoughts. Put only as much as you can. Catch yourself when you're being unkind to yourself. Catch yourself if you're being sarcastic or degrading or condescending to yourself, because that excuse me, that creates disorganization in your DNA, in your cells, on literally a cellular level. Like hateful, negative thoughts affect the molecular structure of water, and we are mostly water. So love yourself. Even just say, I am enough. If you can't get to the point of saying, I love myself and I am so, you know, I'm so worthy, I'm so deserving. So flood your body with healthy fueling foods, flood your mind with healthy, you know, thriving, fueling thoughts, content online. Take a fast from social media, or be selective with what you're choosing to consume, and in every way, and the people who you are around as well, and spending your time with. Make sure that they are pouring into you as you are pouring into them, so that you can spread that love and in the best way possible. So, oh, and then I guess to finish off my story, I want to really expand a little bit on the superfoods. I know Kevin knows so much more details and just about all of the nutrient contents of everything. So I'm going to leave that up to you to share with them. But what I want to share from my heart is my personal experience on these foods versus off these foods, because I was able to heal myself and walk again before I found them. But it was so hard to maintain juicing. It was too expensive. I moved around a lot and I wasn't able to like bring the juicer with me. All these complications came up. So I ended up really, my health kind of took a downturn. I was really suffering again. I wasn't quite bedridden, but I almost had a seizure. I was going through a lot of pain, inflammation. And then I found the Purium superfoods last year and it radically changed my life. I feel so much better. I'm thriving. I'm glowing. I feel like I've had 2 children in the last 4 years. I have a almost 5-year-old and an almost 2-year-old. And that takes a lot of nutrients out of your teeth, out of your bones, out of your hair, out of your skin, your collagen. So I love the collagen support pack that Purium has. the dark berry protein powder is my favorite for its flavor, but also the genuinely just the way it makes me feel. After I drink it, I can put a little of my green juice in there, my power shake. I have my 4 tablespoons of the dark berry protein powder.
The first thing that comes to mind is there's a lot of things, that you're saying that's really amazing and really powerful. But one of the first things is when you're talking about people not understanding and people not, it doesn't make sense when they are seeing someone that is experiencing a lot of pain. And I think that the part that I always comes to me in my mindset is it's like an invisible illness. And I call it like an invisible illness because an invisible illness is something that someone can't see. When you have like psoriasis or cancer or even diabetes, sometimes, you can see it on them or you can see certain things. But something like a fibromyalgia, or even what I had, ankylosing spondylitis, is so painful and so much. There's so much damage on the inside that you feel, but no one can see on the outside. So it's like an invisible illness. That issue where you're experiencing suffering and pain on the inside, but other people can't see it, it's confusing for other people and confusing for the person. And it messes with their mind. So like if someone had a cut on their arm and they're bleeding a lot, the reaction of the individual for the bleeding and the reaction for the person is bleeding is going to be fairly equal, right? But when one person feels like they're dying and the other person is like, you look fine, like, what's wrong with you? It's hard to deal with. And that's why sometimes it's called, some autoimmune diseases are called like an invisible illness. Another thing that comes to mind is my mom. I saw this firsthand. My mom had fibromyalgia and I saw a lot of her pain reduce and lessen, and being able to do yoga, being able to go to the gym, being able to eat foods that she couldn't eat before. And so the pain being less severe, not being bedridden, she was bedridden as well. So I saw that firsthand. The doctors couldn't believe it, right? So the next thing that comes to mind when you talk about food, you talk about mindset, you talk about like stuff like Joe Dispenza, you talk about all these different modalities, healing modalities, what you want to call them. What a lot of people call it is holistic, right? It's a holistic approach. Now, if you just really take amazing nutrition, but you don't focus on gut health, or you don't do any exercises, or you don't do any stretching, or you don't do any meditation, or you don't do any mind work, you're probably not going to heal. But if you take all of it, you do the right nutrition, you get the right gut health, you get no chemicals, you get all the chemicals out, you detox properly, you get the yoga, you get the meditation, you get the community, you get this support system, you get this group, you get all of this, you have a hell of a good chance, at feeling so much better, And the last thing she was talking about is the superfoods. Purium superfoods. So you see me post a lot about that. And the reason why is because this stuff really, really, really works. And this stuff is the cleanest foods that I know available. Farm to family, organic, regenerative soil. They have some of the, as you see a lot of the posts, you can look at the top or the featured post. There's some of the cleanest foods available. And I'm offering $100 gift card. Isabella, you could reach out to her, or for fibromyalgia, anytime, reach out directly to her. If she invited you directly, reach out directly to her. She has $100 gift card to have you to start on these incredible superfoods. And do it for 90 days. That's what I recommend. There's one that's called the Ultimate Lifestyle or UL, it's called ultlifestyle.com. And it's a 90-day commitment to your health, to your journey, doing the holistic approach. I recommend that one. You get the exact same one that she recommended, the collagen pack. Do that for 90 days. Work with her side by side. Stick with us in the group, whatever you want to do. Ask questions, get support, and see how you feel after 90 days. I'm pretty sure that you're going to feel amazing. And I definitely recommend that. We'll put down information also in the link in the description below for anyone that wants to start.